Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. And as you can see, I have already started cooking, but all I've done is just placed a packet of ground beef into my pot along with chopped onion, and you can use a white onion or Vidalia onion, up to you, whatever your preference is. And we're gonna let this cook down to let the moisture just evaporate, and we're gonna be left with the little bit of fat. And this is an 85-15 ground beef, so not too much fat, and we're gonna leave the fat and we're gonna use it to cook everything that we're gonna add to this. And we're gonna need actually a can of crushed or diced tomatoes. We're gonna need a can of tomato sauce, also a little bit of tomato paste, Italian seasoning, salt and pepper, and you're gonna use salt and pepper to taste, and same thing with the Italian seasoning to taste. We're also gonna do some pasta, which you can choose whatever pasta you prefer. And this is essentially a one pot meal. Now I also added some Parmesan cheese to this, and we're gonna actually stick it in the oven. And as I mentioned, this is technically a one pot meal, and and you don't have to actually stick it in the oven. You can cook this on the stovetop if you don't want to use your oven, but I think it cooks a little bit better if you place it in the oven. And as you can see, I'm using my Italian seasoning. We're gonna add salt and pepper to that. We're gonna add some chicken broth, and then we're gonna have enough chicken broth. You're gonna want enough chicken broth to where when you place in your noodles or whatever pasta you use, it's essentially covered in that in that broth. So now I've gotten some questions of, can you do these kind of dishes where you use tomato-based products? And the answer is yes. I just wouldn't recommend simmering or cooking for longer than 30 minutes. Now, if you have a good seasoning on your skillet, then you can do this without any issues whatsoever. And as you can see, I'm showing you guys what I'm using. You can use whatever you like, but these are basic ingredients that you need to prepare this meal. And as I mentioned, this took me about 30 minutes to do, so very fast, and I recommend this as a weekday meal. And this whole pot can feed the whole family, and I have a family of 5, so I got some kiddos, my wife, and anyway, so moving back, as I mentioned, cooking with acidic food is okay. I've done it with my Dutch ovens. I've done it in some videos that I've posted, and you're not going to have any problems. So if you want to cook your pasta dishes in a Dutch oven, you can. I've done lasagna in a Dutch oven, and it turns out great, as long as it's well seasoned, as long as you have enough fat. And I typically don't let it simmer longer than 30 minutes. You're gonna be a-okay. So this is one of the reasons I also wanted to show you guys that cooking with tomato-based products or acidic products is a-okay in cast iron, as long as you don't go over 30 minutes. So let's move on to the Homer pot itself. So this is from Butter Pat, and the information from their website, and it does say it is a 4.5 quart flat bottom pot. It is smooth on all surfaces. The Homer pairs with the oven safe 10-inch glass lid, or you can also use the 10-inch Heather skillet. So that is actually one of the things that I haven't really thought about or talked about, but yeah, you can use the skillet and essentially use it as a Dutch oven. So if you want to take this outside camping and you have also your skillet, it's almost like a combo cooker where you can actually place some hot coals on that skillet to bake something, bake some breads, bake a pizza, or a deep dish pizza, or anything of that nature where you need some form of heat on the top. And I feel like that is a great option. So those are one of the things that I like about this pot. Not only that, but it is a thick bottom pot, so you can place it on high heat and this is not going to warp. It's not going to cause any damage whatsoever, and that's one of the things that I like the most. And as I mentioned, going back to the recipe, as you can see, I added all those ingredients that I just mentioned, and you're going to stir it around, and then you're going to also add, if you like, I added some grated Parmesan cheese, and then I stick it in the oven. Now, you don't have to actually place it in the oven, but for me, I feel like it cooks a little bit better in the oven, and I am gonna put a glass lid on mine. You can also use the skillet like I just mentioned. So 30 minutes and you can have a great tasting dish for the whole family. And as I mentioned, a great way to do a weekday meal. So anyway, let's go back to the information. The overall measurements are the width is 12 inches. The length from handle to handle is 15 and almost 15 and a half. The diameter is 10 inches. The cooking surface is 8 inches at the bottom. The height is 5 inches, and the weight is 8.5 pounds. So not as heavy as some other ones from Lodge. One of the things that is going to hurt a little bit is actually the price. Now, I do recall this being a little bit cheaper, but I think that recently with everything that's going on, prices had to go up. So these are actually hand poured, not by machine. These are hand poured, and everything is worked on by hand. They season, sand, and hand pour everything by hand. So this is somebody that's working on your cast iron piece by hand, and that is one of the things. They also inscribe the date and who, I guess you could say, the employee that poured the iron on the bottom lip of the I guess you could say the handles of the pot. And they do it with every single piece of cast iron they produce. So that is a very nice touch. Now, yes, the price $475 is gonna hurt it's gonna hurt the wallet a little, and not everybody's gonna be purchasing one of these. But you can actually get these on a great price if you do, or if you sign up with their newsletter and wait for their seconds or restaurant use sale. They actually recently just had one. And I do want to say that you can actually pick them up at 50% discounted price. So, for $475 for a standard priced Homer pot, you can get it for about $225, $250, I think, which is a great deal in my eyes, considering that how well these are made. As I mentioned, they are handmade pretty much from start to finish. So those are one of the reasons why the prices are so high. But anyway, I do love how well this pot works, and I do want to just recommend this one a lot because it is very useful for many things: baking breads, making stews, making pasta dishes like this, so many things. And that is one of the things that I like the most about this Homer pot. And as I mentioned, you can actually use the heather skillet if you have it as well, to almost make it a camping Dutch oven where you can put some coals on top and bake your bread if you're on a camping trip. But anyway, as you can see, this turned out great. My recipe, as I mentioned, not authentic. I don't have complete measurements, but you kind of just, in this circumstances, eyeball it, just feel it out and give it a taste as you're cooking. And believe me, it tasted great, and the whole house smelled phenomenal. I just wish that you guys could smell it. But anyway, guys, this whole video was just about almost I want to say 8-month review on the Homer pot. Is it worth it? For me, it was worth it. It is one of the best pots that I have. I use it a lot for frying. I use it a lot for baking and for making stews and pasta dishes like this as well. So yes, for me, it is well worth the money. And I do like the fact of how much work was put into this, and I appreciate it. But anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick video. And as always, I appreciate your time. Thank you guys for watching.